Hi, I'm Nicky. Welcome to the guest list. Today's show is all about beauty, hair, makeup and beauty treatments. My co-host and guest today is Angela Renee. Welcome, Angela.
Hi, thanks Nicky, thanks for having me along.
It's a pleasure to have you here. Later in the show, I'm also going to be joined by Paula, a beauty therapist, and we're also going to be speaking to real-life couple Ben and Sharon, who recently got married. Now, Angela, we are so busy in planning weddings and we're very, very much focused on all the detail of the actual wedding itself.
Absolutely.
The wedding ceremony and the wedding reception. And a lot of people actually lose focus about the marriage part. Now, recently, there was a couple, they were actually in the UK, Richard and Gwen, and they celebrated their 70th wedding anniversary.
Amazing.
70 years,
Wow.
Can you imagine being married? Now, they're 88 and 89 years old, respectively. And the amazing part about their journey and their story is they got married in an air raid shelter.
Wow.
They got married in 1944 in the middle of the war. And the registrar at the time was literally hurrying them along and said, "You've got to get married right now." And they didn't have a witness. So Gwen's mum was present, and they literally just pulled somebody off the street, a lady by the name of Violet Smith, and said, "Could you please be our witness?" And this lady stood there and was their witness. So to speak of, no ceremony and no great big reception at all. And yet their marriage has stood the test of time.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
Really, really cool.
Yeah.
70 years. I think that's absolutely brilliant. That's what marriage is all about, I think.
Absolutely.
Really,
Yeah.
very cool. So when we come back after the break, we're going to be speaking to Angela Renee all about hair and makeup, which obviously is a very big part when you are planning your wedding. We'll see you after the break.
The guest list is made possible with support from wedding champions who make your magic day possible. People like Edgewater Resort in Rarotonga, the perfect spot for all your family and friends to celebrate. And what a place to have that honeymoon. Thinking weddings and honeymoon, think Edgewater Resort Rarotonga. And speaking of dream holidays or a wedding overseas, talk to the expert on travel, honeymoons and romantic escapes, Anita Gatley Travel. Anita can identify all the idyllic resorts for that perfect honeymoon. Just moments away with a phone call. Anita Gatley Travel. Give Anita a call on 0508 Honeymoon. As simple as that, 0508 Honeymoon.
Hi, I'm Nicky and welcome back to the guest list. I'm joined today by Angela Renee. Angela is a hair and makeup artist. Welcome, Angela.
Thank you for having me on the show.
Now, everything to do with hair and makeup. It's a big thing for a bride, planning all the hair and makeup with regards to the wedding, because it's not just her, it's bridesmaids, mums, all of that sort of thing as well.
Exactly, and it's a really important part of the day. It's often the first thing that brides have done on their wedding day, and obviously it's very important that they look and feel fantastic on their wedding day.
Feeling good, isn't
Exactly. Yeah, it can be quite a nerve-wracking day for a bride, and if they know that they're looking amazing, then they're going to feel confident and feel great.
I've had a lot of brides, my clients that have come to me and that they've been looking for a makeup artist, in particular the makeup, and they don't normally wear a lot of makeup, so one of their concerns is they don't want to have a lot of makeup on. They don't want to feel like the pancake makeup going on to them.
Exactly.
So that's been a really important factor for them when finding the perfect makeup artist.
Yeah, and a lot of brides on their wedding day, they want to look natural. They want to look an enhanced version of themselves, like rather than feeling like they look like someone different. It is important to get the balance right. Obviously, when they're having photographs done as well, you need a certain amount of coverage on the face and contouring, so that in the images, their makeup's not lost. So it's creating the right balance for every individual.
That makes a
bride.
lot of sense. Tell me, how did you get started in the industry?
I've been hairdressing for 20 years now and always worked in a salon environment, and 3 years ago I decided it was time to start my own business. So because I'm a makeup artist as well, it gave me the freedom to be mobile, go to my clients if they need me to. I also have a studio as well that I work from. So it's given me that flexibility, which has been perfect for looking after brides, because brides don't want to travel on their wedding day. They want the artist to go to them. So
Don't just do weddings?
no, I do balls, special events as well. Through winter time, it's really busy with women going to events in the city. And I've also got, because I'm a hairdresser, I've got a following of cut and colour clients as well that I still look after.
Where do you constantly get your inspiration from?
Often looking overseas for inspiration. It's great with the seasons to be able to look abroad to what's happening overseas. Also looking to see what's happening on the runways abroad, as well as on the red carpet. Looking at blogs, magazines, and then using those ideas to create really wearable bridal looks.
Wearable, I think that's a really good word to use when it comes to, particularly for brides.
Exactly. There's always bridal trends, but you just want to keep it subtle, because brides want to look back in years to come and still love their hair and makeup look. So it's always good to keep things a little bit softer and a little bit more classic.
Do you get a lot of people who bring a photo to you and say, can you recreate this for me?
Absolutely. I really encourage that. It's a really great way to start a consultation with a bride and to start their trial is by looking at visual references. It gives me a strong idea of what looks appeal to them. But everybody is different as well. So I can definitely create, especially hairstyles straight from an image. But you also want to tailor make the look so that it works really well for the individual, and everyone's hair and features are different.
So have you found that there's a particular photo or image that gets brought to you again and again?
Yes, by far the most popular image that brides and bridesmaids showed me last wedding season was an image of Jessica Alba. It was of a lovely little braided hair up with soft curl at the back. That was really popular. And also we're having a lot of Kate Middleton images coming through now as well. She's wearing some really lovely hair up looks that brides want to recreate for their wedding day. So
Now, when it comes to quoting, how do you go about quoting for brides?
I keep things really simple. I have a price list for every year. So when a bride gets in touch with me and she's getting married in 2015, then I give her my 2015 price list. If she has any special needs as well, I ask her if she has any special requirements, and I can alter things from there. So perhaps she has short hair, or she has lots of hair and she needs a really complex look or a very complex makeup look as well.
Is it the same price for a bride and for a bridesmaid, or are they different prices?
No, brides are a little bit more, and bridesmaids are a little bit less. They take a little less time, on the wedding day.
And what about doing a trial? Is there a charge for trials? Because I imagine there's still time involved for trials.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, some makeup artists may incorporate that into their overall package for the bride. I leave it optional. Most brides do have a trial though, and it's on top of the hair and makeup price on the day.
Yeah. So let's talk about the time that it takes to do hair and makeup on the day of a wedding, because I think a lot of people underestimate how long it can take.
Yes, this is true. So on average for a bride it's an hour and a half.
Right.
That's for her hair and her makeup, her total look on the day. If she's having a really complex makeup look or complex hairstyle that requires, clip-in hair pieces and that kind of thing, then maybe an extra 10 minutes at the most. And then for bridesmaids and other guests, it's about an hour for both hair and makeup.
So if you've got a big bridal party, that could actually be a huge chunk of time in the morning.
It can be.
Yeah.
It can be a big chunk of time. I often bring in an assisting artist to work with me for groups of 4 people or more, just so that we can get through the wedding party, efficiently and so that it doesn't take half the day to do it.
What is it about your job that you love?
I'm a really creative person, and I love being a small part of helping the bride create the total concept, creating a look that's going to work in with her wedding dress on the day, and just all the small details of her wedding day and the wedding theme. Yeah, not to mention just making her feel amazing as well is really satisfying.
Very good. Angela, thank you so much for joining me here.
My pleasure.
If brides would like to get hold of you, what's the best way that they can get hold of you?
They can email me at hello@angelarenee.co.nz. I also have a website as well, and they can contact me through there.
And what's your website address?
That's www.angelarenee, and that's renee.co.nz.
Fantastic. Angela, thank you so much.
Thank you, Nicky. It's been great.
Thank you.
Thanks.
So we've been talking to Angela Renee, and again, I can highly recommend her services. She's wonderful to work with. After the break, I'm going to be talking to Paula, a beauty therapist. So she's going to be talking to us about what you can do with all sorts of beauty routines before you even come and talk to Angela and get all the makeup applied, so your skin is looking fantastic, and also a whole lot of other beauty therapies and routines that you can go through. And later on in the show, we're also going to be talking to real life couple Ben and Sharon about their wedding plans. So I'll see you after the break.
The guest list is made possible with support from wedding champions who make your magic day possible. People like Edgewater Resort in Rarotonga, the perfect spot for all your family and friends to celebrate. And what a place to have that honeymoon. Thinking weddings and honeymoon, think Edgewater Resort Rarotonga. And speaking of dream holidays or a wedding overseas, talk to the expert on travel, honeymoons and romantic escapes, Anita Gatley Travel. Anita can identify all the idyllic resorts for that perfect honeymoon. Just moments away with a phone call. Anita Gatley Travel. Give Anita a call on 0508 Honeymoon. As simple as that, 0508 Honeymoon.
Hi, I'm Nicky, and welcome back to the guest list. I'm now joined by Paula from Form Spa. Paula is a very well-known beauty therapist. Thank you for joining me, Paula.
Thank you for having me.
Now, we've just had a good old chat to Angela, who is a makeup and hair artist, and so she talked to us all about getting ready on the day of the wedding. But you're going to talk to us about what brides and grooms can do with regards to prepping before the big day.
Yes.
All right. So from a skincare perspective, what should a bride be looking at doing in forms of things like facials?
Your facial should be starting on a monthly maintenance cycle.
Mm-hmm.
Ideally, you should be starting your facial 6 months prior to your big day.
Okay.
That's just so that your skin can become used to any changes that's going on. It's also quite beneficial for then your therapist to understand how your skin works personally with things like hormonal changes, stress, and weather changes, so that we can give you the best skin and the best canvas for your makeup on the day.
Now, obviously, everybody's got different budgets and all that sort of thing. So, you know, you'd obviously need to work in with all of that. But ideally, how often should you be going for a facial?
Ideally once a month. Your
Okay.
cellular turnover for your cells is approximately 28 days.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're treating your facial or your skin once a month, it allows us to treat every cell and to give your skin the best results possible.
What about, hang on a sec, can grooms also go for facials?
They definitely can.
Good.
They quite often get forgotten about.
Yeah.
Very important for grooms. They may not want to do 6 months prior,
Mm-hmm.
but just if they wanted to do a facial maybe a couple of weeks or a week before the big day, just to help make their skin glow as well, because they'll be getting their photos taken too. So
Good, so don't forget the boys.
don't forget the boys.
Oh, good. What about for the ladies and maybe for the men too? What about things like hair removal?
Hair removal is something that tends to get put on the lower end of the priority scale, but it is quite important. IPL is fantastic to consider.
Okay, what is IPL?
IPL is intense pulse light laser treatment,
Okay.
and it is permanent hair reduction, so that it's permanent, which is fantastic. If IPL isn't an option for you, regular waxing treatments would be best. Ideally, once again, started 6 months prior, just so that the hair growth can regulate its cycle a little bit, so that your skin is as smooth and as possible on the big day.
Oh, that makes, okay, lots and lots of sense.
Exfoliating at home and moisturising your skin will help that process. But if you can't be bothered exfoliating at home, or if you want a bit more of an in-depth exfoliation, come and see us for a luscious body polish.
Oh, nice. Very, very nice. And what are the other kinds of skin treatments that brides will often come to you for?
Skin specifically is body polishes are great, just to buff away that dead skin and give yourself an overall glow. Tanning is hugely important.
Oh, I can imagine tanning would be a big one.
Yes,
Yeah.
very important to get a trial before your tanning
Yes.
and before your makeup.
Yes.
And it is very important that your trial is done by the therapist who will perform your treatment on the day.
I could imagine there'd be a bit of a concern that tans would come off onto the dresser.
Not at all. Once you have your tan done, whether it's spray or a massage application, it has 8 to 10 hours of a development time. Then your first shower, it will look like most of your tan is coming off, but it's just the excess residue, and then you're left with this gorgeous, even, glowing tan.
Oh, fantastic. Okay, that's good to know. What about things like massages?
Massages are great. A lot of brides get given massages as gifts. They are quite beneficial, and they're very, very good at helping to de-stress. Quite a lot of our ladies come in with bridal packages, and they come in together and they have like a little bright beauty day.
Oh, nice.
We have a relaxation cabana out the back in our Ponsonby Form Spa, which is removed from the main clinic, and they can go in there and sort of hire out that room for themselves.
Oh, nice.
And they can have some wine and cheese and crackers and have a bit of their time.
Like a whole little girly thing.
Yes, it's so much fun.
Lovely. Very cool. And then what about things like manicures and pedicures? One, do you need to have a trial for that too? And then if you do, then how far in advance do you have all those trials, and then how far in advance before the wedding day do you have all the manicures and pedicures?
Manicures and pedicures you don't really need a trial for.
Okay.
You can discuss with your therapist on the day, especially polish. If you're not happy with something, you can just ask for it to be redone on the day. Shellac though is the best thing I can recommend for a bride, because you don't have to wait for your nails to dry at the end of your polish, so you don't have to worry about banging them, getting your keys out of your bag. And it's very, very shiny, very, very glossy, and they don't chip.
Fantastic.
So that would be ideal.
And shellac can be nail, fingers and toes?
Yes, fingers and toes. It's very, very popular on both, and you can have French as well. What I like to do for my clients is if they give me the date of their wedding, I will actually go away and sit down and plan their whole schedule out for them. So I will give them a detailed schedule of absolutely everything they can hope to have done, with costings listed out as well, so that then they can go away, have a look at it, and it's a little bit less daunting than trying to figure it out themselves, and they can pick and choose what they would like to do.
Fabulous. That's awesome. Paula, thank you so much for coming in and joining me today. You've probably debunked a whole lot of myths and just helped explain a lot of what people need to do before, obviously the big day, getting all the prep done and all that sort of thing. So thank you so much for coming in and joining me.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So I've been chatting to Paula from Form Spa. She works over at the Ponsonby branch. She's actually my beauty therapist. I can highly recommend her. After the break, I'm going to be chatting to Ben and Sharon. So I'll see you in a little bit.
The guest list is made possible with support from wedding champions who make your magic day possible. People like Edgewater Resort in Rarotonga, the perfect spot for all your family and friends to celebrate. And what a place to have that honeymoon. Thinking weddings and honeymoon, think Edgewater Resort Rarotonga. And speaking of dream holidays or a wedding overseas, talk to the expert on travel, honeymoons and romantic escapes, Anita Gatley Travel. Anita can identify all the idyllic resorts for that perfect honeymoon. Just moments away with a phone call. Anita Gatley Travel. Give Anita a call on 0508 Honeymoon. As simple as that, 0508 Honeymoon.
Hi, I'm Nicky and welcome back to the guest list. I'm now joined by Ben and Sharon. Ben and Sharon got married in May, so they had an autumn wedding. Welcome, Ben and Sharon.
Hi, thank you.
How are you?
Thank you for joining me.
Thanks.
All right, so let's talk about your wedding. First of all, I'm going to ask Ben, how did you guys meet?
Well, I was out on for a few beers and quite a few tequilas with a good mate of mine. I went down to Soul Bar, bottom of town, and it was quite a good night. Some beautiful lady smiled at me and I smiled back and across the room. That's how we met, the old-fashioned way actually, not online but in a bar.
Right.
So I'm proud to say, picked her up at a bar.
Sharon, should I ask you how you guys met?
It's pretty much the same. Hard day, a few quiet drinks. However, I thought he was trying to steal our table. So when this dashing guy came over to talk to me and I was just going, go away, just stand at our table. And I actually went to the bar to order a drink and I said to my girlfriend, what would you like to drink? Ben turns around and he goes, I'll have a tequila, thanks. I thought, wow, that's so rude. So I actually put Tabasco sauce in his tequila.
Yeah. That's a bit hot.
You knew she was going to be fiery from that on.
Yes, indeed.
And I couldn't get rid of him thereafter.
All right, and how did you pop the question, Ben?
We're actually we're heading to the States for another friend's wedding, and the trip, they were getting married in Vegas of all places, and we had arranged to go to Cabo, which is bottom of Mexico. So I was all excited about this romantic place in Cabo, but we had our stag night, or Matt's stag night, and got so excited about the whole prospect of getting married. So at about 7:30 in the morning, I came home and ready to ask the question, and Sharon wasn't there. She's still out gambling. So couldn't wait any longer. Rang her. Not normally my style to tell my wife now to come home. Came home. So yeah, it was in a hotel room in Vegas.
Classic. Obviously you said yes, thank goodness.
Yeah, made him sweat for a little bit first. Probably only 3 seconds. But
And I believe that there was a bit of designing of the ring. There was some a lot of input from you.
Yeah, it's it was my Sharon made it quite clear that it was up to me to go choose the ring, and it's a lot of pressure came on me. There was no joint viewing or looking or choosing, and actually on the way back from Vegas, got a little bit of inspiration from the Qantas magazine, had some rings in there, and actually I was trying to sell some fitness equipment to a customer in Melbourne, and he said, well, I've got a friend of a friend who actually manufactures rings, he'll be able to help you. And I said, oh well, okay, that's a good deal. And I was trying to sell gym equipment, so I thought there's got to be a deal done somewhere. So managed to get to this guy's place, and he's kind of like a small Italian mafia type guy. Big high walls around his garage, but in there was he
Just
pulled out all the
rolls out
stones and everything, and I was like, oh, this is quite cool. But yeah, between him and myself, we managed to come up with the ring, and we chose sapphire as a stone together, and that blue is kind of my favourite colour and name of my company, so it kind of worked.
Too.
Yeah.
It's a beautiful ring,
Thank
absolutely
you.
beautiful. I know that you guys both run your own companies, and they're both international companies. How did you manage to plan a wedding while running these big successful companies?
Well, it's a little bit controversial, but planning a wedding's not that hard. I sent Ben a diary request for a general meeting of the board. We set aside a couple of hours one Saturday, got together and basically nutted it out.
Good for you.
Yeah, I think all up is probably about 8 hours of planning.
Very good.
The key thing is just making a decision and moving on with it.
Good.
You can and ah forever and ever in a day, but you need to just make a call, go with it, and then it's done.
And we started with the big things and worked down. So Ben knew where he wanted the ceremony to be. I knew I like food, so that was a requirement of where the reception was. So and then we just worked down from there.
Fantastic. And you have a theory about the key to a great marriage? What makes a great marriage?
Spending 50% of your time apart.
Farewells and reunions. We both travel between Auckland and Melbourne a lot, and we both have businesses in both cities, but often we're not in the same place at the same time. We try to synchronise the diaries, but it's not always possible. But
So normally 1 or 2 weeks a month we're apart,
Right.
which is hard, but it really worked.
Now let's talk about your ceremony and your reception. Where did you hold your ceremony?
At St. Ken's.
Right. And why St. Ken's?
I was an old boy there,
Okay.
and my brother had got married there and had a lot of fond memories from that place. And as an old boy, it's not expensive.
I believe that you had a friend sing a song while you were as part of your ceremony.
Yes.
But she didn't do a traditional hymn or anything, even though it is a chapel. What did she sing?
She got up and sang Beyonce, and she chose a fairly, I don't think it's a particularly well-known Beyonce song, but it was just really, the lyrics were really beautiful about the journey of life and meeting someone and coming out of your shell, and it was particularly special to me because of, you know, the journey that I had been on and meeting Ben and where our romance had gone. So that was really, really nice.
You had to do your photos then after your ceremony, and you went off to Albert Park in the city?
Yes.
Nice. And you were telling me off camera that because it was autumn and you had it around the Northern Club, you had all these beautiful leaves, and it must have been fabulous.
It was. And we wanted photos that were really arty because one of my businesses is an advertising agency, so we didn't just want every day, we wanted things that were quite a little bit edgy. So we had some beautiful changing of leaves. It was really fortunate that that 1 week that we got married was when all the leaves were changing. So we've just got these beautiful oranges and, you know, woody, earthy colours in our photos. It's really great.
Oh, fabulous. And where did you move off to for your reception?
Mantels on the water.
Lovely.
Yes.
Very, very nice. And you had a sit-down reception dinner for the... and now Mantels do sort of like a roving buffet where they bring sort of platters of food to each table. Now you were saying that you're a big foodie.
Yes.
They do a great...
Food was great, and all the guests really commented afterwards how good it was. So that was good.
Mantel's food is exceptional. It's really, really exceptional, and their staff were incredibly onto it. They were just amazing. I'd really, really rate them.
Yeah, that's great. It is always good when you go somewhere and the food is fabulous, the service is great. After dinner, you had a band.
Band had a mate of mine, Phil Madsen, play, and he's outstanding. So I figured that a good reception just needs good food, good beer, good alcohol, good friends, and a good band, and then you've got it sussed.
In total, how many guests did you have?
About 100.
100. Nice. So it's a good size for a good party. Everybody up on the dance floor and partying. And you had a bit of an after party as well.
Yes. So we went down to the Sofitel afterwards. So at midnight we left Mantels, we went down and then had a few hours drinking
bit
cocktails
more relaxed,
and just a bit more low key.
And catching up and just chatting and all that sort of thing. Nice. It's lovely that your day could continue then, because I think what people underestimate is how quickly your day goes.
Exactly.
Your ceremony reception goes exceptionally quickly. So.
And it's really nice for the bride too, because I felt pulled in a lot of different directions, because everyone wants to talk to you and you don't get time to spend, or you don't have much time to spend with each individual guest. So it was really nice, and I found that at 11 o'clock, just as I was starting to relax, it's like, oh, it's 11 o'clock, party's going to be over in an hour. So it was great having the after party that I could then just sit down with different people and relax, and the vibe was a lot more low-key.
Awesome. Sharon, Ben, thank you so much for coming on the show and joining me.
No problem.
And I'd like to wish you all the very, very best for all the years to come for your marriage.
Thank you.
Sounds like you've got a winning formula going.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Right, now you've just heard from Ben and Sharon. They've had an awesome, awesome wedding, and lots of little ideas that you can steal and tips that you can take for your wedding. We're almost done for our show today, but don't forget, if you tuned into our show last week, we're running our competition with regards to movie scenes. So hop onto the website, decide which is your favorite wedding movie scene, and you can create your own date night and win 2 movie tickets. So hop onto the website,